Warning. This is sad. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the As Seen on TV podcast for Once Upon a Time, Season 7, Episode 4, Beauty. I'm your host, Dom. Joining me is Jake, Nikki, and Rachel.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going.
It's going. It is. It's sad. It's very sad.
Coffee. I'm good.
Jake, why are you
I guess
sad?
I must be heartless because
I'm not as sad as I should be, because I actually thought it was good and it made sense, and I'm good with it.
Fine with it. Like there was no tears shed, nothing. I was actually happy.
It wasn't like it
not
was like
happy like, oh no, she's dead, but happy because
it wasn't like a sudden thing, like she died. It was.
So we're clearly talking about Belle, right? So Belle, this was our farewell to Belle episode.
Yeah.
That does not rule out the fact that we could see her again. Keep that in mind, guys, because flashbacks, timelines, way things work, there's always room to show her.
Maybe
later.
within that time, they knock some sense into her. Because I love Belle.
Yeah.
I love Belle when she's being Belle, not when the damn interns who, submitted their own damn script when everyone else got coffee writes her. No, I don't like that. I don't like that Belle.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But first we get Belle and Rumple at Gideon's birthday. He's only a couple years old there, maybe 1-2 years old.
It was his first birthday.
That was his first birthday, yeah.
And Rumple mentions how Storybrooke's been really quiet the past year. It's been so quiet, he doesn't even remember the last time he touched the dagger. Like, that means it's really quiet, guys. Really quiet. Like, that means even Jiminy's not chirping outside the window,
There's no person hidden in a shop window somewhere who's always been there, but we are only hearing about them now.
Nope. Been really, really quiet. And then Rumple gives Belle a gift. It's more of a family gift, but it's a travel book, for pictures and memories and all kinds of things. And
that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And it's only the start of the first reference, that we get to Pixar's Up. And then we jump to 10 years later, Rumple and Belle. Rumple professes how he loves Belle and wants to be mortal so they can grow old together and die, together and live out a full and happy life. So they go to this magical river bridge thing, which they didn't name at all. And he makes a wish to no longer be the Dark One, and he throws the dagger into the water, and it peers back on his
noped.
Knee. Big noped. Big noped.
It noped right back into his boot.
It's like, the water doesn't even want that shit.
He's like, I'm not taking this.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nope.
Nope. So Belle's like, no, we'll find a way, don't worry. And then we cut again, and now, at that first... on the bridge, I think Gideon had to be 6 or 8, something like that.
No,
yeah, he was.
Well, if it was 10 years from his first birthday, he would have been at 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was 10 years later.
Because he says, we've been traveling for the last 10 years.
Okay.
And the last 10 years have been the best days, so
okay.
Gideon's 10 or 11.
Yeah.
At the bridge.
Okay.
Maybe.
So then we jump again now, which is from our last time in Storybrooke, 18 years later. And Rumple is kind of upset that Gideon grew up so fast, and, they spent all this time looking for ways to stop him from being the Dark One instead of raising their son. And Pel's like, no, we raised him fine. Don't worry about it. And it's just this goes to show you how far Rumple's come now. He's come a very, very long way.
This is the Rumple we wanted.
Not the one I wanted.
No, see, I really enjoy Enchanted Forest Rumple. It was gold.
When he has
really
other people to not deal with.
Yeah.
This is the Rumple that Belle wanted.
Yes.
Kind of the
And
one.
that's fine.
The one that she knew was inside of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. And I think that's awesome.
It's a really nice tie to their story, at least.
Mm-hmm. So they finally got, they were saying that everyone got their happy ending, so apparently Rumpel did too, so it was kind of nice.
Right, so Belle translates a book, and she finds this thing about the Edge of Realms, about a fairy prophecy for the Dark One, where the Dark One will find eternal love at the sun's brightest set. Where time stops, the path will appear to where darkness shall rest. So Rumpel's like, oh, I know that place, the Edge of Realms, whatever. And they go there. Here's our second big reference to Up, This is the plateau that they built the house up on Up. And not only that, but the house that they built with their own two hands is the Up house.
It's so cute.
It was adorable.
I want to live there. Can I live there? And also Gideon goes to college. He goes to Elf University or something. Yeah. I'm like, really? That's all you can come up with?
Hey. Higher education.
So many questions.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't have any questions.
What do you study there?
Okay, with him, yeah.
He's the one providing his own material, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are there loans?
Are there loans? We don't know how that works.
How much was your college tuition?
The Dark One's price.
Yeah, but no, and then they grow old. Well, Belle grows old. We see her. She gets the what is it? What's the character in X-Men? Jean Grey. She gets the Jean Grey streak.
No, Rogue.
That's Rogue.
Whatever. I don't watch X-Men. It's not part of the MCU, so I don't care. But she gets the streak through her hair, and then she gets full gray. Hair goes.
And we're back to
really,
the damn
really
dry
long.
shampoo shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to just address something in chat where Lewis says it's a big plot hole. How did Belle age so fast? And in comparison to the other characters, well, it's because of the properties of the Edge of the Realms. It didn't show on Rumpel because he's immortal. He can't age, but that particular place, time doesn't seem to go by.
Time stops.
It stops there.
But
Belle
Rumpel said it didn't stop for Belle.
It wouldn't. It accelerated for Belle.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't there that long.
He never said the word accelerated, but he said time stops here except for Belle.
Why?
And he also, because she's mortal. But he also said, here it could go. Here it could be years, but it's only a day out there.
Exactly.
It's different. It's a different time.
That's why when you see them. That's when you see them first move there, Gideon is still practically the same age as when he comes to visit her grave.
Yep.
Belle, it was years. It might have only been a year for Gideon, but it was basically
whole lifetime.
The rest of her lifetime there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Rumpel
also said something that Belle she had so much life in her, whatever, that time didn't stop for her. He said something along those lines.
Yeah.
So you gave us some bullshit answer,
and the sun never sets there. They don't. Well, it does set, but it just takes longer to set, and they don't know when.
But she is the sun.
But she is the sun. But still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She revealed that she did not tell Rumpel that the translation was when Belle dies. That's when the sun sets. Not the physical sun, not the sun in the sky, but the metaphor of Belle is the sun. And she, said,
"Well, actually, Baby Mo was the sun." Baby Mo was the sun.
No, but she said, "You will find, you'll find your way back to me," and it's kind of like the charmings.
He always does, and I think it's fitting. She didn't want to tell him because she wanted to live her life with him. She wanted them to be happy, and she wanted them just to be. And I think that's amazing. And I think it's a great ending to her because she lived her life the way she wanted to. Well, she actually wanted to. She wanted to live with Rumpel. She wanted to be happy. She wanted to have their house.
And I see a lot of people blaming Rumpel, saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have taken her there." This was all Belle.
Yes.
If Belle wanted to tell him how it actually works, she would have. This was all on her. She knew it was going to happen.
And she wanted to travel, so they traveled, and they had a full life together. So I don't understand why people are so mad, because they had a full life.
Gabby in chat is going, crap. Which one of all y'all cutting the onions? So
I'm sorry, it's like we were making hot dogs earlier, and some people like grilled onions.
No, I think it's awesome. I mean, we all knew that the actress who plays Belle is leaving, and I think this was a perfect send-off for her. I mean, I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved the way they did it.
And tying it into Up, and Up is already a huge emotional story, and
it is.
Yes.
And now Rumple, do we have to go through Rumple's the crocodile, he's the beast, he's the fairy godmother, and now he's the old man from Up?
No, he's not.
He is.
I don't think that counts.
No, he is.
No, it's a reference to the movie, but that does not make him.
He's the old man from Up.
No, it does not.
Yep.
He did not go on some damn journey in a flying ass house with a little Boy Scout, and then there's a giant ass bird on top of the house.
And he doesn't have a dog named Doug. Yeah,
Doug. He doesn't have a
we
talking
could have
dog.
a talking dog on it. Why haven't we had that yet? I'm still waiting for the
Squirrel!
episode.
Lola.
Yes, Lola, I concur.
She loves squirrel. Squirrel, Lola, squirrel.
She really likes that squirrel.
Okay.
Okay. There's no squirrel. Go lay down. Now she wants outside.
So Gideon comes and visits the gravesite right afterwards, and he tells Rumple he wants to bear the dagger. And Rumple's like, no, I'm not having any of that. He's only giving it to the Guardian.
Well, he said, I already lost one son to it. I ain't going to use another. He's like, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and he's right.
Is the Guardian something that I've missed up to this point, or is this a whole new thing?
This is
I've
new.
He never mentioned this at all.
No, this is new. This is some prophecy Belle dug out of one of her books that she was researching. That's
because,
never.
Someone's writing all this shit down that doesn't happen.
It's never been mentioned before.
I was like, maybe I slept through an episode last season or something. I don't know, but I thought I was going crazy when he mentioned the Guardian. And I was like,
the Guardian.
The Guardian.
The Guardian.
Well, I mean, we do know about the Secret Garden coming up soon, so it's whatevs.
It's true. I don't know. All in all, I think this was a really fitting end to Belle. It was more satisfying, I think, than the Emma send-off.
Oh, yeah. I agree. And I don't like Emma.
I did not.
I was glad to see Emma go.
I don't know. Emma's story is just it's left wide open, whereas Belle, it's
definitely
the pun,
closed.
but an open and closed book,
Well, I like that, finally, your damn writers fired the damn interns, and you do Belle some justice. Had she told Rumple that she had to die in order for this whole thing to happen, he would have sent her away and locked her up somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the fact that she lived her life and she died of natural causes, and she just lived her life, and I love that. I love the fact we actually saw a character live their full life.
Gabby in chat says, how did Gideon and Bay come out so hot when Rumple is their dad?
They got from the mama.
It's their mama, man. It's all mommy genetics.
I don't know what the damn title of this episode is called.
Beauty.
No beast.
Appears, I didn't think they're that cute. But that's just me.
See, there was part of me that was hoping that the sequence with Rumple and Belle was a flash forward and something that was going to happen in the distant future. And there's still a very slight possibility that that's the case. A very, very slight. It's the slightest of possibilities. But I think it's pretty much been established that that's not the case here. But
book is closed.
Yeah. But like I said, that does not exclude Belle from showing up later. There could be scenes with her and Gideon. We know Gideon's going to be around a little bit, so...
And show him in his college years, and then we will have Monsters University episode.
Oh, God.
Monster.
That's where he went to college.
Yeah, that right.
So, we had a lot with Tilly this episode. And just from the very end scene with Tilly playing chess with Hook, it's really kind of reinforcing that they're trying to make us believe that Alice and Hook are, at least Alice is the girl that Hook's been looking for.
Yep.
They're trying to reinforce it. I still don't believe it, but I think it's a red herring, yeah.
They've done it before, so I'm not falling for it this time. You can't make me believe it!
Up to this episode, I really did not like the actress they picked for Alice. I wasn't a fan. I really wasn't. Now that we've gotten more of her, I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it now. But
we barely had anything from her before. She jumped off a building and smiled, and then walked in to.
And how the fuck you did not break your knees?
It was just the first impression deal. I just didn't like her.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am still looking for that one character in this particular season of Once Upon a Time that I can latch onto and kind of be like, you're dumb, and kind of pick on. I'm the bully.
She's trying to find her new Emma.
I am actually. I feel very discontent without knowing that I can, kind of rag on a character for, not making the right choices and kind of being stupid here and there. It feels wrong.
I do like this character. She plays the character of how Alice would be, going mad kind of thing. And I did notice through the whole entire episode. I didn't notice before, but she has two very prominent front teeth. It was very, rabbit-like. And she kept.
I love the rabbit costume.
I loved it.
But the rabbit mask. But
yes, I love that mask.
It is Halloween here in Hyperion Heights.
Yeah.
Not only did we get a little glimpse of the White Rabbit, but we also saw an Elsa costume. We saw an Incredibles costume family, and
that was
Snow
adorable.
White. Yeah.
The fucking shit. Really, you guys? We had to go through damn 7 seasons for a fucking Halloween episode.
I know, right? Not a lot of shows do Halloween.
Well, this is kind of the second one, because the Frankenstein episode debuted around Halloween, when back in season 2.
But is that a Halloween episode?
Kind of.
No,
it's spooky. I mean,
Frankenstein is considered a Halloween monster, so.
No, he is not.
Yes, he is.
He's just,
not he is a monster. I wouldn't consider any monster to be a Halloween monster. What I mean by Halloween episode is, I know what you mean. A episode that takes place on Halloween, and there's Halloween vomit everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Or pumpkin vomit if you're Ivy.
I like that we got a little more about her this.
Oh God, I'm so glad.
You're with Ivy?
Because I knew that I just had this faith in Drusilla Ivy that it's just her trying to please her mom. That's why she has this outwardly bitchy appearance and attitude. But you see her sitting down, coming around to Lucy, Jacinda, to Henry, and it's just finally we see substance to this character, and I'm glad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I honestly, my spaghetti theory on this, I have a feeling that her mama put her up to this to detour Henry away from Jacinda.
You mean reel him in seducing style?
Mm-hmm. Because she saw them two getting closer, and she's just like, nope, we can't have that. We can't have them getting kind of like what Regina did with Charming and Snow White. Can't have them together. So
maybe.
Because it's fairly obvious to predict that Lucy's gonna not do what they tell her to do, and if she really wants to go to said haunted house, and she's been talking about nothing but the haunted house all night, and Ivy keeps saying no, we as viewers know, they as family members should know, that means Lucy's gonna run off and go to the haunted house. Not before asking for a lost Apollo bar, though. That's what she was begging for at the door. You're welcome, Jim.
I know. I thought, yeah. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
I love that I drilled it into your head that it brings you displeasure watching the episode when I'm not even around. That makes me so happy. So
yes, Gabby, I do wonder what happened to Anastasia.
Well, she's dead.
Yeah, Anastasia in all her forms. I want to know how she died.
She's only mostly dead.
This particular Anastasia that Lady Tremaine has still in a casket has her last breath. She's not dead.
Yeah.
She is stuck in a stasis of sorts.
She needs a chocolate-covered hazelnut.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's only mostly dead.
I need my Anastasia fix. Because I've realized after watching Once Upon a Time in Wonderland and even going back and watching all 3 Cinderella films, I actually really like Anastasia as a character.
Yeah.
They're dicking with us with the Anastasia. I'm sorry, they are.
They're doing it on purpose.
They're doing it on purpose. They know we want it. I swear they watch us and they're like, we're not giving them it.
We swear a whole bunch of people from these shows watch us and we're talking to them like we're best friends. Like, dude,
they watch
do
this
this
show specifically just like you guys in chat. They're watching it.
And they're like, we're not giving them Anastasia. Not that easy.
You guys ain't getting Anastasia because of them. So I guess it's our fault. You can blame us.
Was anybody else here disappointed that we didn't get to see the haunted house that Lucy went to?
And why it did not look like a haunted mansion?
That would have been fantastic. Cool. The Disney World, Disneyland haunted mansion. Probably the Disney World one would have fit more because that one's set up like an actual mansion as opposed to like the other one in Disneyland looks more like a
it looks more New
like
Orleans.
a Louisiana, New Orleans kind of
like a plantation house. Yes. Yeah. That's what I love about it though. It's so pretty. I'd live there.
That's the aesthetic that it has in that area, which this is not in the South. That'd be kind of interesting though. Can we go there? Can we go there for vacation and then there's a certain somebody who's there?
Tiana?
The other person from that movie.
The doctor?
Yeah.
I saw some things on
He's coming.
Facebook.
Oh, he's coming. He's gonna be here soon, and I cannot wait because he looks amazeballs and he's hot, guys. He's good looking.
I don't want Hot Village, but they still keep giving it to us. Damn it!
But I'm actually kind of curious. I wanna make Ronnie's beverage, the poison apple, Scotch schnapps. Could probably do without the dry ice. That's only for the effect.
Do not eat that.
And with a little dash of cinnamon.
I love the fact that Henry goes, it could use some cinnamon. Yeah. And that was a thing with him and Emma.
It was the poison apple. That was the drink. Yeah, Scotch schnapps and dry ice.
There was no apple flavoring or anything to that?
It was probably like a green apple schnapps. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that actually sounds good. Yeah. And if it's got a sour bit to it, I'd try it.
Was it green or was it red? I think it was red.
It was red.
So it was
you can
add red apple schnapps.
You can add a little grenadine, which is red. It doesn't add really that much flavor, except for a little sweetness, but it will turn out red.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I loved it, and I love that she was was she dressed up like Marilyn Monroe or something?
Yeah.
She has a white wig on and stuff,
and it looked amazing.
Yeah.
I do like that, he did a little cinnamon. She's like, oh, I never thought about that. And that was a little nod to, him and Emma liking cinnamon on their hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So.
I think cinnamon would really go great with that because cinnamon apple is fantastic.
Yes.
But
it smells good too.
Yeah. But, Henry's a little bummed out because he's still, reeling over the fact of finding, his graves and he's still dealing with that with his wife and his daughter. So, this is where Ronnie, she goes, look, just because the dead are gone, doesn't mean you forget them when you move on. You gotta go on with your life. Yeah.
No, they're still there. You don't forget them.
Yeah. So
it may be hard to move on.
She's like, you should go to the Halloween ball with Jacinda. You should ask her.
Everything's got to be a ball.
Yeah.
Everything's got to. God.
It's not a gala. It's actually a ball, right?
Yeah. But
okay.
I'm gonna give fair warning though. Like, at least it's not like the Vampire Diaries, and I think the only other person here that watches it is Nikki. And literally every week on that show was a different event in that town, be it a barbecue or a dance or a party or
that town must be really, really well off then.
Because... Yeah. There was always something a car wash. You know, like they had like something.
They had to. They had all the events they were planning. They're like, we need money.
Yeah, so it's just like, that show was just ridiculous with the amount of things that they did. This show, not so much.
It's not as bad. Neither of these two shows are as bad as Power Rangers, where they had the community skydiving competition.
Yeah. So I will take a Halloween ball any day over some of the other shows that we watch, the kind of stuff that they try to squeeze out on us. But I do wish we get to see the Halloween ball, though.
Yeah.
I know, I did too.
There's like, for being a Halloween episode, I almost wish the Belle and Rumple stuff wasn't involved in it, so we could spend more time with the Halloween stuff and then like deal with the Belle and Rumple stuff separately. Or integrated with a different story, just because Halloween's my favorite holiday. So when we didn't get to see the haunted house or the haunted mansion or whatever you want to call it, and then we didn't get to see the Halloween ball and all that, it was a little disappointing on my part. I still think the episode was fantastic, but
we need this damn ball and have the scene in the haunted mansion with the dancing ghosts and the
grim grinning ghosts.
But we just have these mannequins in the ballroom just going round and round with no, rhythm.
Well, they're out to socialize.
Well, and obviously, if Henry was to invite her to the ball, it seemed like the ball was an invite only. So how did he get an invite? Only. Because Ivy didn't get an invite to the ball.
Maybe Ronnie did, and Ronnie gave it to Henry.
I don't know, maybe. But whose ball? Who put on this ball?
I think it's Victoria.
I don't know.
But why would she?
Victoria wouldn't have invited Ronnie.
Invited Ronnie. Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's just for show. Like if, I don't know, because Ronnie seems to be, even though she's in her bar mostly all the time we see her, she seems to have a lot of connections as far as people around town. So if she wasn't invited, people would probably be looking at Victoria like she's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. So we get some more Rumple story here, specifically involving Tilly. Tilly, aka Alice. Weaver wants some information. He's talking to her at the beginning. Tilly then goes to see Victoria and basically threatens her, assaults her,
calls her out.
Yeah. And she's been off her medicine, so it seems like Tilly/Alice is awoken? Is that?
If she's not on her meds, she's awoken.
I feel like it's a little bit more complicated than cut and dry, awake and sleeping kind of thing. I feel like,
Is this just reinforcing the Alice in Wonderland drug stereotype?
It is, and I'm kind of fucking sick of it.
Well, she keeps saying I'm 10 feet tall. She keeps wanting to make me small again.
Yeah.
The pills make me small. So she kept referring to that. Yes, and we know, like in Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, they did have Alice go to the insane asylum, basically.
Well, I don't want your damn.
Because everyone thought she was crazy. So they're playing into that.
Must be in Wonderland.
Yeah, this has to be a different Wonderland.
It also made a reference, to her having a girlfriend at one time.
Oh, yeah, we never meet this girlfriend. She just like randomly said, "Oh, I had a girlfriend."
I had a girlfriend, meaning it must be from another time, because obviously or she remembers that she had a girlfriend. Her girlfriend is here in Hyperion Heights, but she can't quite remember.
Yeah.
So like
she can't quite remember yet. She's
maybe
like,
she made up that she had a girlfriend.
No. I just like the fact.
Well, we do know we're getting an LGBT storyline. So chances are Tilly is the direction that they're going with that. And they said it was going to be a prominent story. And if it's going to be prominent, Tilly's the only one so far that they've shown any. Yeah, well, I said so far that they've shown any kind of direction in that, and she seems to be one of the lead characters. Even though she hasn't had much screen time, she has more screen time than, say, Eddie, the owner of Mr. Cluck's Chicken Shack.
Like who?
So
she's actually had almost more screen time than Ronnie, to be honest.
Probably,
just because of this episode put together. Which, thinking about that makes me kind of sad, because Lana, she's one of my favorite actresses as of now, like, because of Once Upon a Time. So,
well, I wonder if she's actually doing something else right now. Kind of, she's like, I need to, or she's like, Lana's just like, yes, I need to balance the time. Maybe something's going on with her family, or
I think it's more of like they want to take the time to set up and establish some of these other characters to make them more important.
That too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure she's like, I'm welcoming the little vacation I'm getting after the last 6 seasons and stuff like that. 6 years of doing it. She probably is welcoming it a little bit.
Yeah. She's like, I have played like 2 people in the same room. It's exhausting.
Yeah. So no, I think especially once they wake up that she's going to be fully involved in this right now. And because you have to remember too, she's the bartender, right? And as the bartender and the only bartender, she's the only one that works there, and nobody else. She can't exactly just leave the bar and go spend time with other characters and stuff like that. Yes. It's got to be other characters coming.
Don't you think you need help?
Well,
Ronnie?
Yeah, but
why don't you hire Jacinda?
She's hurting for cash right now. Otherwise, she wouldn't have even considered taking that deal with Victoria. So. Yeah, I don't think she could afford to pay somebody else. I would love for Henry to start working there.
This is what kids are for.
Yeah,
Ronnie.
Get Henry to start working there. Have your kid work there.
I almost feel like Jacinda's going to go there eventually.
That would be nice.
Why have
even if she goes to Ronnie and says, "I just want to make a deal. Just help me make
personally,
ends meet."
I would rather see Ivy working there. Get her out of Victoria's thumb.
Oh, that would be friggin' hilarious.
A little bit, yes. That would be fun. That'd be fun.
But yeah, so it seems like Tilly's awoken. So she's talking to Weaver, trying to get him to come to an undisclosed location because she can wake him up, and Weaver's not buying it. He ends up hiding her meds in an orange marmalade sandwich.
I knew that's what he did.
Yeah. She's like, this tastes funny, and then opens it up. It's blue. Why is it blue?
Why the fuck? She's like, what did you do?
I'm sorry, I don't care what kind of medication that is. She took a bite of like a corner of it, and that's not a full dose, and it will not work that quickly.
Well, you shouldn't chew your pills.
Well, no. But still.
But yeah, I do like. I actually I really like the way that they did her, and she's amazing to play, like almost like 2 parts, kind of,
like a split personality.
But then, like we see in the past, we get to see Rumple talking to Alice before the ball, right? So this is just before Alice drugged Henry, back in episode 1. And Rumple and her are having that conversation, and then we cut in and Tilly's bringing Weaver the chip cup, and it's supposed to wake Weaver up, but it's not doing so. So Tilly takes his gun and shoots him,
because that'll wake him up,
and then calls him Rumpelstiltskin.
She did. Well, she did. She's like, "What's your name?" And the names that she was saying was actually in the book. That names that the people were trying to find when they were trying to find him. I noticed that. Also, before she saw him, she's like, "You told me to do this."
I love when she was trying to remember his name. One of the ones she said was Spindleshank, and we know that that's another name that they've called Rumple before.
Yeah.
So.
Rumple, it obviously, like, before this whole curse went down, he took her aside and went through a bunch of steps to say, okay, this is how you're going to wake me up. The last resort is trying to kill me.
What if she actually did kill you, though?
I don't know. He's immortal, so he can't die. Even in this cursed realm.
I think because he is immortal, I think I think after having that near-death experience is the thing that did wake him up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I do like the fact that, because she's so, I hate the word, imbalanced in her head, that they have to put her on pills to put her back into compliance, into the curse. Because it didn't take on her, obviously.
No. Yeah.
She promised to continue taking her meds now, so.
Yeah. That's only because she almost killed somebody in her mind.
Take your medicine, everybody.
Yeah.
Unless your doctor is stupid and gives you the wrong prescription, but.
Hey, who knows? She could be just playing it up, saying that she'd take her pills, but she's all calm and stuff, and she's just like.
Maybe this woke her up all the way too.
Well, even if it doesn't wake her up, even if she does go back on her meds, it appears that her plan worked. It appears that Rumple is awoken.
Oh God!
And Jermaine has no clue.
And when when I heard him say "dearie," and look Victoria straight in the friggin' face and be like, "You don't know what you're playing with," she was just like, and walked out. It's like, you have no idea what's gonna happen now.
Or she's not afraid.
No, she's probably never heard him say "dearie." She's never been a part of that Rumple. She's never been a part of that.
I think this is a little tidbit for us to know on for a while, and Victoria has no idea.
I'm curious.
Well, I mean,
how much?
It's either that or because we're still trying to get a grasp on this new villain, who usually there have definitely been, I think, better villains in my opinion than Rumple, but there's never been a villain that could I would say, overthrow Rumple.
She's calculated.
Except for Zelena, because Zelena's awesome, but this bitch ain't
They mentioned Zelena this episode.
They did. Yeah.
She's, but
and Baby
Neil.
Yeah.
Tremaine's very, she's very calculated, because she doesn't use, magic very much. I mean, she does, but she doesn't.
She's very fear without magic, which is something no one has done.
She's very particular in her moves, just like playing chess. She's very everything is for a reason. There's a reason behind every move she makes,
which I think makes her more interesting.
Mm-hmm. And it also makes her a little more dangerous.
Yes, because if you don't most of the villains on this show have relied on magic, except for the ones that were about to destroy it, but they were lame anyway. This Lady Tremaine seems like she's more, I mean, she's a fairy tale character, but she's more grounded because she doesn't rely on magic. She doesn't really want to use it, but she is capable without it. And if she can go up against Rumple without any kind of magic, then that's impressive. Don't know how she's going to do that, but we'll see.
Now, the big question I have is Rumple still the Dark One? We never saw that. Supposedly the whole thing with Belle was supposed to lead to him finding, a way to do that and enjoy. But part of me is going to be like, he wanted that for his life with Belle. So with Belle gone, yes, it may have been her final wish. Yes, it may have been like her dying wish, and all that. I don't know if he's went through with it.
Well, no, I don't know.
I don't know. If he didn't, then that would make sense that he didn't die when she shot him.
I think a lot of it has to do with, him accepting that Belle is dead. Like, that she died, and, to mourn and grieve over her. It doesn't really feel like he had the chance. That's when, the eternal love thing would come into play, when he knew that, this is the way it had to be in order for him to move on and, be mortal and live a life.
And we also, go on, sorry.
And then when she actually died, there was that whole part where he's just like, okay, she's dead. I'm not. He didn't seem to be grieving. I know he might have watched her for who knows how long he watched her die for. Like, he was literally standing there. He wasn't affected at all. And day by day goes by, she's grayer and grayer and grayer and grayer. And then she I don't think he had time to accept the fact that she's gone, and that's why he didn't become mortal, and that's why he still is immortal, and he probably just doesn't have the dagger on him.
And also, I mean, when they were in the car, Alice is like, "You are a good man." She was telling him that how honorable of a man he was. So obviously he didn't go back to his old ways if he is still the Dark One. He didn't go back to his old ways.
The reason I asked this is because they really pointed us in the direction that he's no longer the Dark One. That's where they've been pushing on this the whole episode. And based on what we got, was it last week or the week before with Rogers? It was last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Rogers,
so.
Not Wish Realm. Or not the Hook we know, but Wish Realm Hook. And he used the line, "I'm not the man you think I am." Well, Weaver used the same line this episode.
Mm-hmm.
He used it to Alice, I believe. Was it Alice? No, it was Victoria. But still.
Oh, she thinks he's Weaver. She thinks he's the compliant detective, the harmless,
but he
non-magical.
was still Weaver when he said that. He hadn't awoken quite yet. This was the first time when Victoria was threatening about Alice, like, you need to get your informant under control, and it's either you or him, and he goes, "You're not the man I think I'm not the man you think I am," before he left.
That was reference into how loyal he is to Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
She thinks that she has him under her thumb, and he's just like,
right.
No.
But it just really has me, on edge because of the Hook Wish Realm, rug pull that they did out for the swap that they did, that it's like, okay, so that's making me think, okay, they're saying Rumple's a good man, well, what if he's still the Dark One?
Or what if this
he was a Dark Man when he was with Belle, and he was still, he turned into a good man. And he had to think, I was like, if trouble isn't there, he's not going to go looking for it, really, because it actually gave him time to change. And so, I think it is what he made of it.
Everybody in chat is saying, well, if he wasn't the Dark One, he would have died. Well, Rumple technically could have died before the curse was broken in Storybrooke. So we don't know how this curse functions, anything like that. So for all we know, the curse could have stripped magic away, and none of these guys have magic in the realm.
I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know how it works. That's the whole point. We don't know.
We know that Rumple has died before. And we know the only way to kill a Dark One is if you become the new Dark One. That's the only way you do it. Now,
but what about season 3? When they had to bring him back with the candle, he didn't.
Yes. Well, okay. So
season 2.
He was.
No, season 3.
What happened with that was, it was the whole thing with the poison and the heart, and we never went back to that. They basically retconned that whole thing.
Well, Neil sacrificed his life for that.
Yes. We did have Rumple die. Rumple officially died when he stabbed
Pan
and himself, and that's what happened. Everyone thinks he's dead. He is dead. Then there was that whole weird Neil mergy thingy that was strange, but
they brought back. Yeah, they brought him back. They used the spell to bring him back.
Yep.
So. But after that, we saw that he lost the Seer's powers. So could it be possible that maybe he did die this episode, and then he did come back, but at the cost of the magic?
Lewis says, guys, Alice and Belle said Rumple has a pure heart. Do you believe this? Well, he was born with a pure heart.
I think everybody
He's also born a savior.
Yeah. Everybody's born with a pure heart.
I mean, and he
saying
can
that he has one now. I mean,
you don't know. I mean, look at Regina. Yeah, we don't know what her heart looks like now. It could be cleared up. It could be cleared up.
I still want to know if Snow's heart has the dark spot still.
Yeah.
No, it's there. There's like a couple of dark spots in there.
Yeah.
I don't think your heart, I don't think the dark spots go away.
They may become They may become lessened. They may, you do the things, but the more good you do, they just don't show as much.
You can't change. That's like what I'm saying is like you can't change the past. Like you can't. Like you did the things. There's nothing you can do about now unless there's a fucking time travel spell that totally exists now.
You can only be better. You can only make it better. Be the better person in the future.
And that's exactly what he did.
So I don't know if Rumple. We remember Rumple had when they basically pushed the reset button on Rumple and then his heart was all white. I think that's how the glowy white heart. I think that's how every heart is when a person is born. And then like depending on like the choices you make, determines like what colors or what LED lights are in your heart.
I also support this theory, and I really hope that we don't ever explore it because I don't want to see anybody rip a baby's heart out.
Well,
no.
So, but yeah. No, I said I didn't want to see that. Don't give me the visual.
Okay, we don't. No dead babies.
But yeah, Ivy was really fantastic this episode. There's a lot more to her than we first thought.
Mm-hmm.
She's just, I think, after, her sister died, even, before this curse, all she wanted was her mom's approval, and she even said that even in this episode. So everything she's ever done is just to get her mom's approval, just to have her mom, kind of like what Regina did with her mom. She just wants her mom to love her, and her mom doesn't give her that, so she just keeps doing these things, hoping one day that her mom will acknowledge that she loves her.
Yeah,
and loves her. If she does, not necessarily more than her sister, but just loves her in general.
Well, maybe in the Anastasia episode we will find out that maybe Lady Tremaine did have, maybe she did favor Anastasia over Drizella. If you do, for those of you who have not seen Cinderella 3, there is a Cinderella 3, for those of you who don't know, it does exist, and it's actually...
I haven't watched it yet.
Is that the one that has time travel in it?
That is the one that has time travel in it, and in that movie they give Anastasia a story arc, and it does seem like they don't really give backstory to Lady Tremaine, but like there's little character moments specifically with the Step family. It's really about them. The third movie it's really about the Step family, and we get to see their dynamic. And it seems like Lady Tremaine always favored Anastasia because in the movie she goes back in time to make it so that Anastasia is the one that marries the prince and not Cinderella.
Right.
And Anastasia, and even in 2, Anastasia is the one that falls in love with the bread maker, and it's always been about Anastasia.
Mm-hmm.
Drizella's always been second best.
Yep. So now the question is Weaver going to play up the charade, or is he going to just be open that he's in the know and he knows what's going on?
I see him playing this game for a long time.
He's gonna have fun. That's what he does.
He's just gonna plant all the seeds of the shit to bring Tremaine down, because it seems like he knows exactly who she is, exactly what she's done, and he hates her effing bloody guts.
Okay, so the follow-up question is, who's the first person that Rumple is going to awaken?
Henry.
Hook, Henry, or Regina? You think Henry's going to come before the others?
No, I think it's going to be Hook.
It'd be Rogers, yeah.
Don't forget the way the curse worked in season 1 is some people were starting to awaken, but it wasn't until Emma, the curse was broken with Emma, that it broke for everybody. So if they break Henry first, it's broken for everybody.
I don't know. Maybe he'll wake Alice first. Get her off the pills. I always liked that character. I want her more. I like Crazy Alice.
We're getting more of her. And she's kind of like, I think it was Lewis that mentioned earlier up in chat, she's kind of like a blend between the Mad Hatter as well. And I really, really like that dynamic.
I do like that. I love it. She's a great actress for that, doing that. Absolutely amazing.
Yep. I don't know. I'm hoping it's Ronnie. But I have a feeling it's gonna be Rogers because it's his partner,
and because he just wants to fuck with Hook.
Yeah.
No, I don't think there's any any tension there anymore. The conflict is I mean, we know it is the wish. It is wish hook, so there is conflict on that side. But
like it's past.
Yeah, it is.
What we do know about Rumple is we do know he did come to the New Realm, right? He talked to Alice. We don't know what exactly brought him there in the first place. We don't know.
He's searching for the Guardian.
Well, the Guardian's supposed to be at the realm that he was in with Belle. So.
No, he's talking. It's not like he had to go search. He had to go find the Guardian.
Yeah.
Well, it's the pathway open at the edge of realms. So.
Yeah, but that's not where the Guardian is.
And it would take him to the Guardian.
So, I mean, maybe it's in this realm. But why he's meddling in Henry's business is more or less what we don't know yet. We don't even know how he knows that Henry's in this realm or anything like that. We just watched him drive by, like that much. Henry didn't notice him. But we still don't know like how much Rumple knows about the realm and why. Clearly, he knows that Henry's there because he told Alice. He told Alice to stop him from interfering. But we don't know why, and we don't know any of that. So,
well, I think it's because these stories are supposed to go a certain way. Like we had the author before Henry meddling in his own stories because the job of the author is to record, not to create.
Interfere, yeah.
And
but that's of their own realm, I believe, because if Henry started writing a book about the New Realm, I don't think he's the author of the New Realm.
Well, the author wrote. He went to different realms and wrote stories about them as well. I think the book, like the original Once Upon a Time book, I think that isn't just the Enchanted Forest. I believe that is, it dips into like other realms, but its main focus is the Enchanted Forest. And I think we've mentioned that there are other books out there. So I think Henry is meddling in this realm that is that's connected to another book that maybe someone else wrote.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Henry, he forgot about that aspect. Like he doesn't see it as meddling. He doesn't see it as meddling. He said, I'm here to help, which, dude, you don't need to help. The story's supposed to play out the way it's supposed to play out.
And I think maybe Rumple knows that, and he wants to prevent Henry from doing that. We have a lot of people in chat saying that Alice is the Guardian. I don't think she is. I think it's Henry.
I don't know. I think maybe she knows, because we know that she was working with Rumple before the curse, because he had her stop him from meddling with Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe Rumple thinks that the Guardian is Alice. So the portal was supposed to take him to the place where the Guardian is, and it just so happened that Alice was there, but Henry was there also. So I think he believes that it's Alice, but it's that whole thing.
Had prior knowledge that Henry was there before he drove by on the motorcycle.
I'm sure he did, but I'm thinking it's just giving me parallels to the whole thing with the seer and the boy will be your undoing thing.
I just have a feeling the Guardian is someone we haven't met yet.
Yeah, then you better make him interesting as fuck.
Yeah. Maybe it's Arthur. Maybe he comes back from the underworld.
Or maybe it's Baby Mo.
Nah.
I still think Baby Mo is the boy that the prophecy was talking about.
Maybe it's Merlin.
Oh, please bring Merlin back. I loved him. I loved him so much. No, Merlin.
Why'd you have to do that? Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the first dark one. She takes it back and she's dead.
Yeah, whatever happened with her.
The other thing though,
She's still in his head.
The other thing we don't know about Rumple is if he is aware that Rogers is not his hook.
Yeah.
Right? Because we don't know what what Rumple knows about the group in there. As far as we know, all he knows is Henry's there. He's involved. We don't know if he knows that Henry called in, family. We don't know if, how much Rumple's been keeping tabs on things
Obviously
in there. We don't even know how long Rumple's been in the realm.
Well, I mean, enough to send Alice after him is like, your grandfather knows everything.
Right.
So it sounded like the ball was happening very soon because she was saying all the strange people coming in to,
Well,
the ball was
marry the prince.
The way I approached this, the way that my head took this is the conversation that Rumpel was having with Alice was happening as Henry was driving to crash into Cinderella.
Yeah, that's what I had to. Yeah. That's what I thought so too.
So.
That's my thought too. So.
Yeah.
And so that was before Regina and Hook and them came.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why I said I don't know how much Rumpel knows, and if he realizes that this hook is his hook or not, and that's going to make an interesting thing if he thinks that this is his hook, and then he wakes him up and realizes he's not. That
we better get some fucking interesting.
Could you imagine if breaking this little curse that that they have on all these on these characters, and they go to break it on Rogers, and he kind of ages and gets that belly back just for a little bit of time, just for goofiness, just be like, oh no, what happened?
No, this is not what I wanted.
Well, that was see, the thing is that was an effect of the curse. It was
I know. I'm just saying, because the the curse it breaks, and there's like a magic release. It kind of meddles with that part of the spell a little bit, and it only temporarily affects him. And everybody's just like,
What if Tremaine finds out if and when he wakes that she threatens to turn him back to the way he was?
So what?
I feel like that's going to happen, and it's going to be a hilarious episode.
What if we find out that this Lady Tremaine looks nothing like Lady Tremaine from the movie? So what if this whole thing, this blood magic thing, she has done it before on herself?
Could be.
Mm.
Could be. Do you guys have anything else for this episode?
Not really.
I really enjoyed this episode.
We're just speculating.
No, well, I was just playing. I was watching this with a friend of mine who watches the show too, and we were just playing Disney character bingo. So we pick. So we just would go out into the different scenes and try to find the different Disney character cameos in the background.
That's cool. Won? That's actually fun.
Oh, I won.
Of course.
Of course you won.
Next episode is called Greenbacks. Tiana seeks help from a traveling soothsayer, the iconic Dr. Facilier.
We're getting them.
In an attempt to save her kingdom. But when it is revealed that he has an ulterior motive, she is forced to take matters into her own hands. In Hyperion Heights, Sabine and Jacinda take on a risky business venture. I wonder if it's the same person. But the strength of their friendship is tested when Victoria interferes with their plans. Meanwhile, Ivy recruits Henry to investigate Victoria, and Ronnie makes a discovery that could change her relationship with Henry forever. Rogers uncovers a crucial clue in his search for Eloise Gardner.
Okay.
Eloise Gardner is the little girl. So, how old is she now?
I think I've seen a picture, and she looks to be an older teenager.
Questions.
Answers.
So they mention. Tiana is in the synopsis. It said that Tiana is to have a kingdom. What is she the princess of? Because
whatever Naveen was.
So in the movie, he says he's the Prince of Maldonia, which to me sounds like an Indian country. But if Naveen isn't in this show, then what is she the princess of?
Maybe he is. He's off with his band.
or his other, or his assistants.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it seems like we're going to be playing on this character for a little bit, because next episode is called Greenbacks. We have another episode, and then episode 7 is called Eloise Gardner. So we probably won't be getting too much of her through the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they bring in the whole Naveen thing, because having Tiana without her husband is kind of...
without the frog.
Yeah, even she won't eat frog legs.
Because that's cannibalism.
She's not a frog.
She was a frog.
She was.
We don't know in this context.
Well, yeah.
She was, but...
Well, I think that about does it. Jake, where can people find you?
You can find me and all of my Googles and Gore and Monsters and Mayhem here on YouTube at Jacob Salazar, or you can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the week, the life at ToNowhereLand. That is TONOWHERELAND. Join the Nowhereland Society.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter with no catchphrase or jingle. At LadyFitum24, LadyYvenom24.
Excellent. Rachel, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. And starting next week, you can find all of us on twitch.tv/ASOTV podcast, where all the live shows from here on out will be. You can find all of us and more also on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next time, see you guys later.
Later, Gators.
Phenomenal.
I'm not a gator.
What?
He just wears them.
Oh.